Rage! Empathy.
Oh, hilarity! This guy! Strength!
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 Switch games we're most excited to play during the second half of 2024. Remember, these games are games launching in 2024, so as much as we are hyped to see Metroid Prime 4, don't expect to see this game on the list. That game does look sick though. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to Mojo Plays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Huh? What? Luigi!
When Alpha Dream closed its doors after filing for bankruptcy in 2020, it seemed like all was lost for the Mario and Luigi series. It has been 5 years since the remake of Bowser's Inside Story, and the 3DS titles Dream Team and Paper Jam didn't exactly set the world on fire. So really, Mario and Luigi hasn't had a stellar title since 2009 with the original Bowser's Inside Story. But it looks like Nintendo wants this series to have a second life, and Brothership seems like it'll be a worthy revival. From the cartoony visuals to the animated cutscenes to the combat, this looks like everything we could want from a new entry. Plus, this will be the first time a Mario and Luigi game has launched on a home console, and it will be out on November 7th, 2024. Lego Horizon Adventures.
Hey, neat costume! I gotta get me one of those. Ooh, sandwich.
If you own a PlayStation 5, you most likely already know that Lego Horizon Adventures will be released on that console. However, it is also launching on Nintendo Switch, and we want to recognize this. The game itself looks incredibly fun to play, and it seems like it will play similarly to the Lego games from the mid to late 2000s. But what's really notable about this game is how this is a major Sony IP making its debut on a Nintendo console. Yes, we have been getting MLB The Show on Switch since 2022, but that was a decision likely made by MLB themselves. Lego Horizon Adventures is Sony putting their own property on a rival platform, so this will be an interesting game to observe in sales, just as it will be fun to play. Nintendo fans will be able to experience Aloy's new adventure when it arrives sometime during the end-of-year holidays.
Ooh, that's a big one! Here we go!
Magia. If you've been wanting a little more action in your cozy farming games as of late, Magia might scratch that itch for you. Think of this game as a massive marble cake, a blend of two rich batters coming together to create a unique flavor. One flavor, the vanilla, is kind of soothing and pleasant, like the feeling you get from playing a farming game. The other flavor, the hefty and intensely sweet chocolate, is the side of the game where you're collecting monsters to create an army so you can bulk up that vanilla some more, which can bulk up the chocolate and vice versa. And in this world where Pal World is only available on Xbox, Magia looks like a fun alternative for those who only own a Switch. Expect it to launch on Switch on November 1st, 2024. Fantasian Neo Dimension.
The world is slowly being robbed of its civilization.
Another day, another Square Enix RPG in the bucket, except this one has a unique spin on things. Fantasian Neo Dimension, once a JRPG exclusive to Apple Arcade, is making its way to Nintendo Switch and other platforms this winter. In addition to its captivating story, those who played it on Apple have enjoyed the creative combat system where you can adjust the trajectory of your attacks to take out as many enemies as possible. We're not quite sure what this was doing being stuck on iPhones and iPads, but we're stoked to get our hands on this title later this year.
Let us save the world together.
Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's safe to say that Nintendo has finally found a way to keep the party going for Mario Party fans. After the successes of Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars, we are now getting a third Mario Party for Switch, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and it looks like it might be one of the best games in the franchise. Not only are we getting a new set of 5 boards with their own fun gimmicks, traps, and more, we're also getting 2 boards remade from the first 2 Mario Party games. Western Land has never looked so good! With more than 110 mini-games packed in, Super Mario Party Jamboree looks like yet another excellent game and another excuse to call up friends for game night. Plus, that online support looks surprisingly strong with all those new game modes. Join the party when it arrives on October 17th, 2024.
The biggest Mario Party yet will soon be underway.
Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game, and no, I did not say that incorrectly, that is actually what it's called.
Tales of courage and brave deeds in dark times. But that is not our story.
We won't lie, things have been super rocky for Lord of the Rings fans. Gollum was the biggest disaster to come out of gaming in 2023, and that Rings of Power show seemed to enrage more people than it did satisfy. So we can understand why some folks might feel a little burned out with Middle-earth. However, looking at Tales of the Shire, we can't help but be excited. This is the kind of game we have been wanting from legendary IPs like Lord of the Rings. Games that let us live in the world or sections of the world and experience our own adventures within them. Let us play as a hobbit and do things that a normal hobbit would do, like grow crops, hang out with friends, decorate our homes, and cook scrumptious meals. If this has rejuvenated your interest in Lord of the Rings, you'll be able to pick this title up on Switch sometime this holiday. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. For us fighting game fans, this was the announcement we have been waiting years for, going all the way back to 2021 when FGC streamer Maximilian Dude helped kickstart the #FreeMVC2 movement. By the way, has anybody checked to make sure he's still alive? Max is still alive, right? He didn't die from the hype, right?
Take down the Kingpin in the beat-em-up side-scroller The Punisher, and more.
Okay, anyways, almost all of the Marvel vs. Capcom series has been stranded on ancient hardware in what few arcade cabinets remain in the wild. Now, we'll all be able to relive this once thriving franchise through Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Buying just one copy of this collection will grant you access to 7 games, from X-Men vs. Street Fighter to The Punisher to, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's gonna take you for a ride when the collection launches on Switch and other platforms later in 2024.
I wanna take you for a ride.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics launches on Nintendo Switch this year.
Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
Where your favorite tunes will compete in your favorite sports. Basketball.
Okay, so we know this is a weird deviation from everything else we've talked about on this list, and the kinds of games we typically steer towards when making these sorts of lists. But this is much more notable than the 30 seconds we saw in the Nintendo Direct led on. Once upon a time, Looney Tunes had a stellar career in video games, with fantastic games like Sheep Raider, Duck Dodgers on N64, and Bugs and Taz Time Busters. But after the abysmal Acme Arsenal, there has been little to no effort in reviving Looney Tunes outside of some cheap mobile games. Wacky World of Sports looks like a fresh start for a new era of Looney Tunes, one that harkens back to multiplayer titles like Space Jam, Looney Tunes Racing, and Loon's The Fight for Fame. We're optimistic, albeit cautiously, especially since Game Mill Entertainment is the publisher, and they don't exactly have a great track record, but we hope that you'll join us when Wacky World of Sports launches later in 2024.
The Acme Tournament of Champions.
What's up, Doug?
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Funny how the series has always been known as The Legend of Zelda, yet Link always takes center stage. Well, Echoes of Wisdom is looking to change that for a moment. For once, Link is the one in trouble, and the only person left to save Hyrule is Zelda herself. But you aren't running around as Zelda with a sword and shield. No, Nintendo's got a more unusual approach to the series we know and love. Zelda comes with the ability to learn the powers of tables, chairs, and rocks to solve puzzles and defeat baddies. Trust us, it is much more interesting in execution than it may sound when said aloud. And if your curiosity has piqued after seeing the trailer, then you might be happy to know the release is surprisingly close. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom will launch on Nintendo Switch on September 26, 2024. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Square Enix has long kept this title under wraps, having only made the announcement back in May 2021 with a brief snippet of gameplay. But we finally got a much more in-depth look at it during Nintendo's June 2024 Direct. Inspired by Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake retells the NES original with a brand new blend of 2D character sprites in beautifully rendered 3D environments. If you have been looking for a starting point in this franchise, one particular game to begin your journey across the Dragon Quest timeline, this is the one. You can play the original game on Switch for an affordable price, but if you can wait, this remake will be your entry point into one of the best franchises you could jump into, and you'll be able to play it while we wait for the remake of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Get ready to begin the Erdrick trilogy on November 14th, 2024. Which of these games are you looking forward to the most? For me, it's obviously Marvel vs. Capcom Collection and Looney Tunes. But let us know down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to Mojo Plays for more great videos every day.